Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is April. I go by Ruby Rouge here on the YouTubes. Thanks you so much for stopping by. Today's video is going to be a makeup empties for the whole year of 2019. I want to compare this to last year's video, how much makeup I used in 2018, because I feel like it's a lot less. It was a weird year for me using things up. I talked about that a lot in my 19 and 19 Project Pam finale. It was a very weird year. But it still looks like I have quite a bit of product here. I have more than I thought that I would. So let's just get started. The most exciting thing, I guess, is always eyeshadows. I managed to use up this one eyeshadow here. This is a Laura Geller sample size in matte eye color in ginger. Not something I would repurchase. I did not think it was the right color for me to use for just about anything, so not a good color for me. I used that up, and I'm going to give myself credit for 2 shades in this Makeup Forever palette. This was my Pan That Palette project for the first part of the year, but I did finish up that, and I'm going to give myself credit for that one. The rest of these got depotted and moved to a Z palette, and these guys I didn't need them in my collection, and I knew that I would never use them, so I just went ahead and they're on the declutter mission. So in 2018 I used up 5 eyeshadows. This year I only used up 3. In 2018 I was able to use up 1 highlighter. This year I used 0. 2018 I used 1 bronzer. This year 0. 2018 1 blush, this year 0. So that was big. Those were big categories. I did not manage to finish off anything in. The next category I have listed is lip products, so we're going to go ahead and move to right here. I did manage to use up 4 lip glosses or lipsticks. This was the Bite Beauty Lip Pencil in Pastille, Smashbox Baja Bound, Laura Geller French Press Gloss, and the Buxom in April. The only one I would repurchase is this one. I do like the Bite. I did really enjoy Bite Pastille, however they're reformulating it. So I'm gonna say that I will wait to see how the reviews are on that before I buy any more of those Bite pencils. In 2018, I only had 3 balms listed, lip balms, but I think that I probably just didn't put them all in. These were all the lip balms that I finished. I have 12 listed. My favorites were, I really enjoyed this Oribe product, but it's too expensive. I wouldn't purchase it. I got it in a kit. I wouldn't purchase it on its own though. It's like $30 balm, but I did enjoy it. I hated these. They were awful. Let's see. Naked Organic Lip Balms from Dr. Bronner's. They made my lips feel worse. There's actually probably a little product left in here. They actually made my lips feel quite irritated. So, didn't like those. The Vaseline, I could... it was kind of whatever, nothing too great. The chapsticks I enjoy. They're just kind of middle of the road. They're affordable and I enjoy them. Burts Bees is one of my favorite lip balms to layer with lipstick. So if you didn't see my red lipstick video, you should watch that. I gave a lot of good tips in there. One of them is how to use this to layer your lipsticks. Smith Rosebud Salve, I have always enjoyed. I usually go through about 1 of these a year. This was terrible. I would not recommend it, the soft lips. And then this is my favorite, this Vaseline. I like any of the flavors. My favorite's the rose. But that's my favorite like nighttime lip balm that I put on. It lasts forever. It stays on for many hours throughout the night. And I just feel like I'm having a hard time finding it. I went so far as I had to order it because I was missing it so bad. This is what I actually tried to replace it with, and it just was not. It doesn't have the staying power that the one in the jar does. In 2018, I used up 14 mascaras. This year, it was 7. Oh, all of these I enjoyed pretty much. That is rare. My favorite, my surprise favorite for the year was this Mary Kay Love Amour mascara. I ended up just loving this. I was really sad when it was done. I used it for the full 4 months. I may have even pushed it to 5. That, if I did, that was an accident. I usually try to keep them right at 4 months, but I started thinking about it and I'm like, I don't know, maybe it was 5. Anyways, I did love this. The formula never changed. It never got weird on me. It stayed perfect from start to finish. It was great. I would definitely purchase this again. Marc Jacobs, what is it? The Velvet Noir. This is one of my favorite mascaras. I love it. It makes my lashes look absolutely beautiful. I've always loved it. I think I have a separate review for it maybe on my channel as well. MAC Hot and Naughty. This is a favorite of mine. I think I used to not like this because the first time I purchased this, it was waterproof, and I don't feel like this one was. I need to look into that again because I do actually really like this. I don't like waterproof mascara though because it is too hard for me to get off. I prefer water resistant mascara, which holds up. Not all of them, but the good ones hold up in high humidity. They hold a curl, but they're not so hard to get off. And MAC does that really well. The Mary Kay was like that as well. I think the Marc Jacobs is like that as well. So all of these mascaras kind of have that water resistant, but not waterproof. I can't remember about It Superhero mascara. I do like this mascara. It isn't a favorite, but I do really enjoy it, and I was so excited. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm to get this full size of it. It didn't last the full 4 months, I think, before it got kind of weird. Like, yeah, it just got kind of goopy and yucky, but love it. This was probably my least favorite, and I don't think it was terrible. This is Smashbox Superfan. I don't know, it could have just been, sometimes you get these samples and they're not the best. This isn't my favorite type of wand. Let's see if we can get it to focus there. Not my favorite type of wand, but I don't know. It wasn't a bad product, just not something I would repurchase. And this is my go-to mascara. I know it works perfectly for me every time. I don't love the wand on it. They have, they reformulated my favorite, which was MAC Giga Black, and this is the closest formula to that. Or no, not Giga Black. This one is Giga Black. It was MAC, I forgot the name of it now, but it was my favorite for years and years and years. And this is the closest to it, but the brush is a lot smaller. I don't like the brush as much, but I know this formula is perfect and it works for every occasion. So I usually have one of those on hand. In 2018, I finished up 6 concealers. This year, I finished up 4. They are all over here. Let's see. They have reformulated this and I haven't tried it, so I'm a little nervous, but this is the Blemish Remedy Concealer from Bare Minerals. I love this for blemishes. It's a hard, waxy concealer, so it stays put. It doesn't move around and budge off of your blemishes as soon as you get it on. So that's really nice. And it also has a little bit of salicylic acid in it, so you get a little bit of treatment as well. These Cover FX pencil, I tried to use as a, let's see, how do you put this? When you're wearing like a really dark lipsticks and sometimes it bleeds, I like to have a pencil concealer in my purse to touch that up. These weren't the right shades for me. I did manage to kind of use it, but they didn't have my shade in this formula. So the formula was okay, just the shades were kind of eh. Bare Skin, Bare Minerals Blemish Remedy, or no, this is just Bare Skin Serum Concealer. I like this concealer. It's nice and light. It's a little bit dewy. It does set down well though if you use powder with it. Yeah, I really like this concealer. It's silicone free. I like to use it all over my face. And I like it. One product that I had 0 of in 2018 that I have 1 of this year is my Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. I always buy the little size of this one. The full size I would never get through. This is a beautiful concealer for the oiliest, or primer for the oiliest of skins. It is silicone free. Very little. It takes so little of this one, and it can be over the top. So if you're not super oily, this is probably going to be too much for you. It can be a little over the top, but it is a really nice mattifying concealer. I have repurchased it. Not a concealer, a primer. In 2018, I used up 4 foundations. In 2019, I've used up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foundations. These are the Pure 4-in-1 stick foundations. I love these. They're my winter foundation. I have 3 colors here. I have medium, light, and then porcelain. I use this as a highlighter. It's a little bit too light though, so I'm not going to repurchase that one again. This one is light. This is my perfect wintertime shade. And then medium gives me just a little bit of contouring if I need it, or if I want to use this like a little closer into fall, I can go ahead and use that. I like this for the winter because the formula of it is, it's very waxy. It holds up well in the cold, but not in the heat. It is a little bit more moisturizing than some of my favorite summertime foundations, so it works a lot better for me in the winter than the summer. And this one works, this Milk foundation works a lot better in the summer because it holds up in the humidity and doesn't melt or break down. A little bit goes a long way with these babies. They can look cakey and powdery really fast. They take a very little bit of product. And I love them. Love them, love them. This one was left over from, this was my first silicone-free foundation I ever found, and it's okay. I used it forever. It was really hard and difficult to use, but I made it work. They have discontinued it now, so no need to talk too much about that, but the colors on these were perfect for me. I am missing that. I mean, I couldn't get any closer to my skin tone than I have ever with that one. Milk foundation, this one is the one in light. I'm still working to find my perfect colors in this brand, but I love it. I have several of these going now that I mix together. It works incredibly well for me in the summertime or in the humidity, or anytime that I'm just like incredibly oily. I can go ahead and use that one and it will last all day long. It's a beautiful foundation, and it's silicone free as well. Powders. So in 2018, I had used up 8 powders. I was talking about this foundation being incredibly difficult to use, and one of the things was you had to keep it powdered. If you let it get the slightest bit oily, it would start breaking down and turning into an absolute mess on you. It is insane. So I went from 8 powders. This year I used up 2. I am wearing makeup a lot less than I was, but still, that is a huge difference considering I used up the same amount of foundation, actually a little bit more. I think you can see the difference in how much powder this foundation really needed to stay looking good. 2 powders I used up. One was this It by Pores powder in translucent. I used to love this powder, and they reformulated it several years ago. And I've noticed now that in this winter, when I'm at my fairest, I don't like it because it oxidizes. I don't know if it's the foundation that it's mixing with and oxidizing, but whatever reason, it's oxidizing on my skin and I don't love it. Unfortunately, I have 2 more left to go through. I'm halfway through one of them now, but I won't be repurchasing this one again, I don't think. But that one is done. Laura Mercier powder. This is my favorite carry around in your purse powder. This is the Shine Control. It is the green one. I could have repressed it, but I should have repressed it earlier before it got to this point where now if I repressed it, it would be like really difficult since there's not much product in there. Love this powder. It's beautiful and lightweight finish on the face. It does, I think, help with your oil. If you're really oily like me, especially in the summer, I'm really oily. But unlike some powders that I like as touch-up powders, it's really easy to carry around in your purse and it doesn't crack or break. So the formula is stiff enough to hold up to being jostled around and dropped and all of those other things. It's a really nice formula of powder. I do plan on repurchasing. And lastly, in 2018, I used up 4 brow products, and every single one of them was I think, was a NYX pencil. I used up 1 this year. Yeah, I did. I used up 1 this year. The rest of these, I just finished this one. This took me forever. This is a Bare Minerals brow powder in dark blonde. It is a lovely, lovely, lovely brow powder. That was my second time I had used one of those up. I have absolutely no complaints about it. This one is kind of a use up, kind of a declutter. This is the Eyeshadow Brow Magic Brow Boost. I kind of put this in here. I put this in here really just to caution anyone from purchasing it. The recommendation that I saw for this product was actually on a Charlotte Tilbury video, so I'm like, oh, well, it's probably pretty good. No, it was terrible. It is a static based brow product, which that wasn't the bad thing about it. It's just like the color wasn't good. It didn't stick good. Okay, so maybe the static thing was part of the problem, but it just didn't stick good. It just didn't work that well. I used it until I couldn't use it anymore. I used it mostly in my hairline, honestly, and then it just started to get weird. I think because it was a static based product, like maybe it got a little damp or oily or something, but it just got really, really weird in there. So we're gonna let that one go. Elf Clear Brow Gel, I think. Is this the one I loved? Yes, I really, really loved this one. Or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. No, it was the Ulta one. There was an Ulta one I loved and they discontinued and it makes me sad. This one was just okay. I didn't want to repurchase it again. I didn't like it enough to repurchase. Same with this one. This one is the Elf eyebrow eyelash. It's okay. Didn't like it enough to repurchase. This one is way too wet and I don't know, I just feel like the wands are too big. It's just, I finished it, you know, but it wasn't my favorite. I didn't want to repurchase it. And oh, this ColourPop is actually a declutter now that I think about it, because I used it like a few times, and first of all, the formula I didn't care much for. It's like white and very thick and goopy. I hope you can see this because, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was a really, really yucky product. And the other thing is it made my brows break out. I tested it a couple times, and every time I used it, if after a couple of days, my brows would break out. So that is definite no for me. That is all of the makeup that I used up in 2019. And I did a really rough estimate before the video started. I think last year my product totals were around $1,000. I think this year they're only at $400. I'll do a final estimate and put it somewhere in maybe the description box. I'll do a final tally, put it in the description box. But this is what we finished up. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of thoughts or feelings. It's an okay amount. I definitely wish I could have used a blush or a bronzer or something like that, or a few more lipsticks would have been nice. I like doing this project because I think it helps me understand my buying habits a little bit and know the things that I can afford to purchase and the things that I probably shouldn't purchase. Like, probably shouldn't purchase any blush or bronzers or highlighters this year because I didn't even make it through one. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to do a video similar to this one. I really liked seeing these at the end of the year. I look forward to them. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye!